Hi, Diana. Can you hear me?
I heard you. Can you hear me?
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for ANC 5A's monthly meeting. Um, Commissioner Alston, could you please call a roll call?
Present.
Fellas, Ale,
Present.
Commissioner Tim Rose, Ale, two,
Present.
Commissioner Lisa, Ale, three. Vice Chair.
Here.
Ale, four.
Present.
Commissioner Howard, Ale, two.
Yeah.
Commissioner Chairperson. Larry, also, Wendy.
Present.
I can't hear.
Five, Ale, none.
Present. Can't hear.
I don't know.
I
I don't
can't
know if
hear
I did
anything.
I can't hear it all.
Also, five, eight, present. Commissioner Weston. Five, eight.
Present.
Thank you, Commissioner Alston. Are folks able to
Excuse
hear
me,
now?
excuse me, no, Madam Chair, I didn't hear 503 called, and I'm here, so I didn't get a chance to stay present.
Oh, Emily, sorry, we didn't see you in here, but
Sounds like everybody.
Commissioner Lucio is present.
We're all present.
I believe we're all, he is present, he's just not speaking, which says absent, unfortunately. Unless he's able to unmute and join us.
Yeah, I couldn't hear her at all. I'm sorry.
If commissioners can speak into the microphone, that would be appreciated and help a lot with the audio. I appreciate everyone's patience. We are at a new location. Thank you to Catholic University and to Commissioner Hermes for organizing this new location. We really appreciate it. Fancy tech, trying new things, new year. So appreciate y'all's patience as we are dealing with technical difficulties. So we'll go on to the agenda review and acceptance. The commissioners received the agenda beforehand. Do I have a motion to approve?
Do we approve the agenda?
A second.
Okay, motion to approve the agenda by Commissioner Bakum, second by Tim Thomas. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All abstain? Agenda is approved. So we'll be working things a little bit differently tonight. So like I said, I appreciate everyone's patience as we are working out the kinks here. We will be starting out with a presentation from Rank the District on ranked choice voting. I do not see them in the waiting room. I will confirm that I don't believe that they are here. Oh, Brandon's here. Okay, great. Thank you, Brandon. So I will add you so you're able to join us. Hi, Brandon.
Hello, hello. How are y'all doing?
Doing great. Please take it away. I will ask Commissioner Sellers to keep us to the agenda and the timer. We are giving every presentation 10 minutes to make sure that we stay on time. So I appreciate your support and keeping us there.
All righty. Let me share my screen. Once again, I thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to share this with you all. My name is Brandon Bush Thompson. I am the engagement coordinator for Grow Democracy DC Civic Education Fund, and I'm here to talk to you all about ranked choice voting through our Rank the District project. Just keep everything forward. To let y'all know about what's going on and how we got here, Initiative 83 began collecting signatures, specifically 40,000 signatures with the Make All Votes Count campaign in order for us to put RCV on the table as well as semi-open primaries. In November of 2024, DC voters voted with 73% for yes on ranked choice voting, which allowed us in 2025 to bring ranked choice voting implementation into funding with the DC Council. And so this upcoming June, we will be having our first RCV election here in DC. So many exciting things happening. Just a little bit more about Grow Democracy DC Civic Education Fund. We are the leading organization that is dedicated to educating DC voters about ranked choice voting and connecting with everyone in Washington, D.C. to talk about what's going to be happening this upcoming June. We want to make sure that we are engaging people through in-person trainings, events like we are right now, other community events with a focus on senior citizens, youth ages 18 through 25, people with disabilities, and other hard-to-reach communities. We also want to make sure that we are working with candidates on candidate to candidate or candidate trainings to make sure that they know how to run in a ranked choice election. Also working with and supporting the Board of Elections so that they understand and know how to run a ranked choice election smoothly for all of us. And then, as referenced before, we want to make sure that we're talking with and engaging the community themselves, ensuring that we are doing things that are accessible in regards to educational materials and programming and things that are relevant so that everyone can be included in this process as we all learn about ranked choice voting. To hop straight in, it is a very, very simple, as simple as one, two, three. So first, you're going to rank your favorite candidate first. As you can see here on the side, the Mystics is one of the options for a candidate, and they are ranked in first place. Then you're going to rank your backup choices, and you only rank the candidates that you support, but you get up to five choices. So, with that being the case, if your first choice comes in last place, then your vote simply moves on to your next choice, and this will continue to repeat itself until a particular candidate wins over 50% of the vote. So I know I went through that very, very fast, but I'm going to do some things that will kind of back up what this all is and what to do and what not to do. So starting with what not to do when you get your ballot and you go into that poll and voting booth, do not choose more than one candidate in the same column. I want y'all to drill it in your minds. One column, one row. Do not do overvotes by making sure that you put more than one candidate in for one ranking, and make sure that you are filling out your ballot correctly. Also, do not rank the candidate more than once. So if you have a particular person that you're voting for and you rank them as your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth choice, that is also called overvoting. And we want to make sure that we avoid that because that could potentially mess with the tabulation and them trying to calculate your particular ballot. Also, you do not want to skip. We encourage you not to skip on the ballot. If you do skip like one ranking, like let's say you rank someone in your as your first choice, but then you don't rank someone in your as your second choice, but you do rank your third choice, then essentially the first choice will be counted as yours, but the third choice will be counted as your second choice. Like it'll essentially just kind of skip over it and it'll just kind of move the process up. However, if you skip more than two columns, then that will stop the ranking. So if you rank in the first column as your favorite candidate, but you don't rank your second and third choice, and then you rank your fourth choice, it'll only count that first candidate that you ranked. So make sure that you're filling that out correctly and doing what you have to do so that way your ballot doesn't get messed with or anything like that once tabulation starts. So again, we want to make sure that each choice is in a different column and in a different row. Again, as you can see here, the Mystics has its own choice, the Nationals has its own choice, and the Wizards has its own choice. So you want to make sure that you're doing that for each of the candidates that you support, so that way your ballot can be properly examined and counted for the upcoming election. I will stop here for any questions that anybody might have. Again, I know that I went through that pretty fast, so please let me know if I can clear anything up for anyone.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Of course.
We please add questions to the Q&A, folks, and we'll make sure that Brandon should be able to see the Q&A. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A. Thank you, Brandon, for the presentation. I know we're all really excited about implementing RCV and getting that information out.
Yes, and I'm also a Ward 5 person. I live right over by Hetchinger Mall, so I'm here just like y'all are. I know a lot of people have a lot of concerns about ranked choice voting. If I can go ahead and get some of those and tell y'all why it's important. Ranked choice voting essentially helps to alleviate the idea of like splitting votes or the lesser of two evils. Traditionally in races where there's more than three candidates or more than two candidates, there might be a candidate that gets like maybe 30% of the vote or 25% and will win that race based upon that, which means that if they got 30% of the vote, then 70% of DC did not vote for them. So this kind of helps aid in that and pushes our ability to hold our elected officials accountable. It also encourages people within races to have friendlier races where before, people would be bashing folks, and we don't like that. That just makes everything a little bit more contentious than what it needs to be, and it just encourages a lot of political theater rather than actual problem solving. So with that being the case, it once again holds people accountable and makes sure that people are working together in electing someone who needs to be in that position. And it also holds us accountable to making sure that we're educating ourselves about who we are voting for, and all of that good stuff. So
And
yeah.
I think we have a question from Commissioner
Yes.
Alston.
Yes, my question is, why aren't you here in person? I think that, you should be in person. Also, I believe that you should have a couple of machines here, so people can actually see the machines, touch the machines, some of the ballots. A copy of what the ballot looks like, so people can actually look at the ballot as you go through what you're doing. So I'm not going to come back to my District 5808 in person.
Well, we could absolutely arrange for me to be there in person next month. We can address that right on here, right now. I have absolutely no problem with that. I'm here to make sure that we are serving everybody as quickly as possible today. I was in between a lot of different meetings and things like that. I had a presentation earlier today, so this was the arrangement that I could work out to make sure that we are getting this information to you. But once again, I encourage y'all to invite me back. Please, 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 please. I would love to talk to everyone in person and then also potentially invite some people from the Board of Elections so that way we can encourage them to bring the machines and allow people to kind of have a little bit of practice with that so that they know what it's going to look like and feel like once election season comes around. I'm on the same boat with you. I promise.
Thank you, Brandon. I think there's another question from Commissioner Hermes.
Service announcement. So on April 18th, myself, Bob King, and Monica, who chairs the DC Board of Elections, are hosting a ranked choice voting education day at McKinley Technology High School in Ward 5 with all of our seniors. We're taking buses, we're providing food, we're doing all this stuff. We're going to take all the seniors from all of our nursing homes, all those sort of things around Ward 5, and we're going to bring them all to McKinley. And we're going to educate them, and we're going to have all the candidates there. So I would encourage anyone who wants to help out with that and help us educate, especially the seniors who we've seen are the most vulnerable with not understanding how ranked choice voting works, to reach out to me, 5AO4@anc.dc.gov. We'd love to have your help on that event. Thank you.
Y'all heard that?
Madam Chair.
Y'all heard that? Y'all heard what he said? Y'all better go to these events. We are encouraging any and everything in order for us to work together and make sure that everyone is educated. I was actually just at the Model Senior Wellness Center giving a presentation to their seniors, talking to them about ranked choice voting. So we are trying to be everywhere. Please send me that information so I can see if either myself or someone from my team can come and attend. And we don't even have to speak, but if you want us to, we can help out however we can. We would love to continue to collaborate on this initiative because again, all that we care about is making sure that everyone is educated. You know, I understand that there are a lot of people who have a little bit of contention behind all of this, and it's new. It might be overwhelming. It might be confusing as well. But the only way that we can do it is if we work together and make sure that we're working as a community to educate each other, ourselves, and spread the word as much as we possibly can. So, yes,
Thank you, Brandon.
of
And
course.
are there any other further questions? Commissioner Sellers?
It's not a question, it's just a comment. I've invited the Board of Elections to come to Lamont Riggs Citizen Association's meeting, which will be held March 2nd at the Lamont Riggs Library from
Oh, if they cut out, I can't hear.
the Board of Elections to come out to several community meetings over the next couple of months for training. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Also, Ward 5 Democrats are having a, right choice voting, exercise, and that's gonna be March the 5th, I believe. I'm not mistaken, looking now, sorry. March the 9th. And that will be from 6 till 7:30, and it'll be at Faith United Church, which is located on South Dakota Avenue, Northeast Washington. So if you look at this, you see they're in the ward, educating the taxpayers about right choice voting. So Mr. Thompson, yeah, Thompson, thanks for coming on. And as you speak, most people are doing the same thing. We're trying to educate the taxpayers and let them know about the upcoming June 16th. Could be a pivotal day here in Philadelphia. There's a lot of people running for different offices, and they need to understand how this is going to work. Thank you.
Great. Any last questions?
Yeah.
Commissioner Austin?
Hi, this is Commissioner Austin. Yeah, I'd just like for you to personally get in contact with me. I've heard a lot about we're gonna be meeting in the communities and so forth for adults, but we also need to reach out to these young people who are 18 and above, that are at recreation centers and that are high school, that are college, to make sure that they are registered to vote. So it's good to have that registration card there too. So people
You
who are
know,
not registered, they can register. And maybe we can work out something where we can go into school and make it a part of one of the programs that we go through this process. So the children to know what to do, because everybody has to come out and vote. Vote is so important. So many people think that your vote doesn't matter, but your vote does matter and it does count, and we need everybody. So I'd like to get in contact with me because I have good suggestions. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Firstly, I appreciate that. I 110% agree. Me and my team, we are working diligently to get connected with and to be in the community, specifically talking to young people ages 18 through 25, so that way we can let them know about what's going on with ranked choice voting. We have our contacts and things of that nature, and we're working things out so that way we can be in the schools as well as meeting the kids where they are at recreation centers and throughout the greater Washington, D.C. area. Um, Starting towards like the end of March, going into April and May. But I would love, 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 like I can't stress enough how collaboration and coalition building during this time is of the utmost importance. If there are any resources that I can give over, I would love to have those conversations. If there are any resources that you can give over to me, or specific suggestions that you have, let's please have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's get coffee or whatever the case may be so that we can figure out how to best reach students because that is a high priority on our list. That was some of what I said earlier in my presentation, that that's one of our main targets. So yes, I would love for us to have more conversations about that if at all possible. If you're interested, I'll drop some of my information in the chat so that way you can reach out to me or I can reach out to you, whichever you prefer. I'm very open. I'm very friendly. I'm from the Midwest and the South, so I'm very polite. Southern hospitality, that's something I believe in. So, I would love for us to have a conversation. Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I really appreciate your time and would love to have you again back in the future.
Yes, 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 yes. Please, I want to come back. Please invite me back. We can get a little bit more into the weeds if you would like to talk about how the tabulation works. We can ask questions about that, but whatever is most comfortable for y'all, I am here. I am available. So please let our team know how we can best help.
Amazing, thank you. So for our next agenda item, is Chris Riddell here? I don't believe she is here in person or virtually. So we will move on to the next agenda item. Commissioner Holloway, you have an update on One High YF project?
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Um, so I did mention the One Hawaii Avenue should be having the grand opening ceremony in the near future. I don't have a date, but I'll let you guys know ahead of time. Also, I spoke to Mr. Kenneth Brown. I don't think he's in the I don't see him anywhere on here. But we're going to be meeting with the director. I've sent everybody an email in regards to the meeting we're having with the director's office at the Department of Buildings on Friday. The main issue is the 150 violations that we've had down here. And also, a lot of the residents were being asked to be paid up to 30 grand to move. So we're going to be meeting with them to see can we go forward. And if possible, we might need to add them back to the agenda again because we won't be able to move forward until after Mr. Brown and I have this meeting. So that's the update. Any
Amazing, thank you
questions?
so much. Oh, any questions for Commissioner Holloway? We have.
Sorry, Commissioner, could you clarify, residents of Dane has to move from where?
Commissioner Holloway?
I'm unable to hear that question. Can you guys tell me what it was?
Could you repeat the question?
Commissioner, you mentioned that residents are being asked to move and be paid to $30,000. Could you clarify if they're being asked to move the specifically?
Chair, can you relate that to me? Because I'm unable to hear it.
No, I was thinking you were repeating the question. Yes. Jack, can you just repeat the question? Commissioner.
People being asked to move, and they're getting offered, we clarify, where are they being asked to move?
Commissioner Holloway,
Okay.
question is, where are they being asked to move from?
They're actually just asking to be relocated until they get the property. Right now, the property is like dilapidated. It's been for a good while, and we're trying to get it done. Two of the buildings that start work on, and now we're trying to get people where they can be relocated. So they're offering them funds to be relocated until they get the building done. So and the landlord is actually willing to help them get a place until they're finished with the work and the construction.
Wow. The Commissioner Holloway, I believe they're asking about which property. Is it One Hawaii Ave project, BZA 2050765?
This is actually the property 65, 69, those 7 buildings. It's 2 buildings on Webster, and it's like 5 or 6 on Hawaii Avenue. That's what Kenneth Brown and his group is working on. It's the same one that I guess a couple of years ago, Mr. Mark Millar had the same project. So they're still trying to do the same thing in the process. We closed one of the buildings. I actually went and made sure that was done because of the mold and stuff that were in the buildings. So now we're trying to get people out so it can be redone fully, and then they'll have the option to move back in when they're done. So this is not, so clarification, this is not One Hawaii Avenue. One Hawaii Avenue I mentioned because we're having a grand opening with One Hawaii Avenue. That's the buildings that's already been done. So they're going to be having a grand ceremony soon in the near future. This is the project with Kenneth Brown that has the like 7 buildings. He has 2 buildings on Webster, and he has the like 5 or 6 on Hawaii Avenue that we're trying to get people uh, relocated so they can do the proper work they need.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Sellers?
Question, or is this just a statement that Commissioner Holloway is making?
Commissioner Holloway is just giving an update.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Commissioner Holloway?
Is there any particular reason that residents are accepting the 30K?
Commissioner Holloway, the question is if there is a particular reason why residents are not accepting the 30K.
Well, good question. The first offer, according to Mr. Brown, that I was told was they wanted 50,000. So we're gonna, and I don't know why they're not accepting the 30,000. I had 3 seniors that were in this same position, and they accepted the 10 grand that the previous owner for them to relocate. And I was integral in getting 2 of those seniors places, and the other one had family that they moved on with. But why they're not accepting this, I don't know. But they have a housing agency that I'm really anxious to get her a part of it because she's the one that's telling these people that you're supposed to get this amount, you're supposed to get that amount when they really have the option to come back after the places are redone. But I just hate to see people stand in dilapidated places such as that, places that I wouldn't even walk in. I made them take pictures. So the mold and stuff, we were successful in closing down too because of the mold. But the other people, how the rights and stuff are going in the district that, they don't allow, you can't just put people out. And it's really detrimental because some of them have young kids and stuff that I feel for. So we're just trying to get it done at this point.
Commissioner Austin?
My question is,
You speak closer to the mic, yeah.
my question is, Holloway, is there anything in writing that ensures that the people who live in there now, the residents, move out and they can come back and the prices that they're paying for rent now will still be the same.
The question is that's probably a question for Mr. Brown, but according to what I know, is that they have an opportunity to move back. That doesn't mean if they're paying $600 now and they put millions of dollars worth of work in the place, they're still going to pay $600. But before, when Mr. Millar had it, I did have it set up to where it was close to what they would had already been paying, depending upon the amount of time that they've actually been at the property. So the answer to that is yes, there is something in writing. They will receive something in writing from him saying that they're able to relocate and then come back when the place is done.
Okay, so you still don't have anything in writing telling them that when they come back, whether they're gonna be able to come back at the same market rents or not. Because
And
most of the time, people come in and develop properties and whatever, and then when the people move out, they're not able to move back in because they have to pay the market rent at that time.
okay, Commissioner Austin, over my tenure as a commissioner here, every time we've done this, people have had the opportunity and the right to move back to the property. So again, that's a question for Mr. Brown, but I'm telling you, and what I've done through the years, the people, the seniors that was allowed the 10 grand to move, they had a signed contract with an option to come back and pay close to what the rent was. So did I see that with my own eyes? Yes, I did, because I sat at the table with them. So it's not like they're being pushed out and they don't have anything right. Yes, they do have something in writing, but for you to get further clearance to that, you would need to talk to Mr. Kenneth Brown. He's the one that bought the units. I'm the one that's making sure that everybody gets a fair shake to be able to leave and come back. So they're being offered 30,000 to relocate. So that's all I can tell you from there.
Thank you so much for that update, Commissioner Holloway. We appreciate the update, and when we have more information or have Mr. Kenneth Brown on, I'm happy to have him on to answer questions. We will move on to the agenda. We have Chris Ridow with us, who will give a brief presentation on Sidewalk Palooza. And Commissioner Mez, I think, is set up.
She's good, mic up there. There's the mic, not my computer. The mic in there on it.
I'm saying, yeah.
Start from the top side.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, hello, all of you. It's nice to be here. I appreciate being put on your agenda. Okay, so now we're good to go. So thanks for giving me a little time to talk about Sidewalk Palooza. It's an annual-ish event that's taken place for 3 or 4 years now. And the idea is to get your neighbors, your friends together for a little house party and then turn it into a walking event to walk around your neighborhood and look for problems with the sidewalks. There are a lot of us here. I walked over here with my cane from where the guy left me off. And I managed to make it over in one piece, but you can walk on some of these sidewalks, as I'm sure you've seen, and, trip on your face. I've managed to do that on occasion. So we want to make the sidewalks safe for everybody in the city. Whether you're 25 years old and you can run over here in 2 minutes, or if you're 80 years old and you're using a walker, or you're 30 years old and you need a wheelchair. So looking to identify those places that need repair. And then we want to pass that on to the local agencies that are responsible. One of the things as you look into this is that potholes are repaired generally within a week or 2 weeks of when they're identified. Sidewalks, on the other hand, can take months easily, if not years. And so we want to highlight this and make sure that sidewalk repair becomes a higher priority. So this week, Sidewalk Palooza is going to be March 21st to 29th. And as I said, we want to organize house parties in that period. They can be as simple or as fancy as you want. If you just want to give people water, no problem. Want to have a whole buffet, no problem. And then what we'd like to have you do is walk around the neighborhood and look for those sidewalk issues. Send them into 311 and we'll have information about what you need to do for that. And then we will track and see what happens with those issues. Okay. So I have a little flyer that, as I said, I'd pass out to the folks here, and you can feel free to make copies. Wasn't sure how many to bring. It has information about how you can sign up to host an event. And we'd like to get events in every ward. And then a little more information about the sidewalk situation. So I'm happy to answer any questions if I have a little time left.
We have time for maybe one question, and we can share out the information after the meeting. Commissioners, do we have any questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Chris, a couple of questions for you. Is the scope of the sidewalk palooza, does it just focus on the sidewalks, or does it focus on trees that may impede walkability of sidewalks? And does it focus on the curves at intersections?
We are focused on both of those things. Oh, sorry, focused on both of those things. The trees, particularly when the roots grow up through the sidewalks, are a big concern. And then the intersections, which all should have the assisted ramps kind of situation, but often don't. So those would be reported in the same way.
I just want to encourage you to have a walker in the neighborhood in using 311. You can use 311 for the sidewalks, which goes to DDOT, but you can also do it for urban forestry to report any limbs that may be impeding all the sidewalks.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I mentioned that I just got into this as part of a class. Well, keep forgetting. I got involved as part of a class, but I've lived in the district for 35 years, and I'm a returning student, as you may have guessed. And I haven't called 311 on anything, and I should be looking out for those things. So this has been an education for me, and hopefully for others.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And if you can share the flyers, we'll make sure to shade them up. Thank you. All right, moving on with the agenda. Do we have anyone from the mayor's office to give any updates? Lacey Davis, I see you. How are you, Lacey?
All right. Hello, everyone. Tonight, DC Water is hosting a Potomac Interceptor response. You can RSVP at that at events@dcwater.com. It's a live stream. Also, you could go to video in your browser. You can go to video.oct.dc.gov/DCNTV. And it's also being shown on channel 16. Tomorrow, the mayor is having a budget engagement forum that will be held at Dock 5 at Union Market. It starts at 5:30 p.m. We will encourage everyone to come out for that. This forum is an opportunity to share feedback on the upcoming budget priorities, connect with neighbors and exchange ideas and build community. I will leave a link in the chat so you could register on Eventbrite to attend that. DPW spring services is coming up. It begins March 3rd through October 31st. That's the street sweeping that they do, the curb to curb mechanical sweeping. So parking from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. on certain streets will be swept. Hopefully, illegal dumping and litter cleanup services will be provided as well. If you go to 311 and report those, alley cleaning will begin in April and end to September. If you have yard waste, paper bags is the preferred place to put yard waste in. Grass and mowing of public spaces will be taking place, in graffiti removal on public property as well. And also Helping Hands community cleanups will begin. And commissioners, you can help by promoting those schedules and 311 and petition requirements. And I will have the links to that as well in the chat. And Her Story 5K, the mayor's annual 2026 race, hosted by the DC Department of Recs. I've attended one of those before. I had a great time. Registration starts at 8 a.m. The Kids Dash begins at 9:15 a.m. and the 5K begins at 10 a.m. And more info for that will be at herstory5k.com, and I will put that in the chat as well.
Thank you so much, Lacey. Any questions? We have time for maybe one question. Commissioner Alston?
Thank you so much. This is Commissioner Austin. I want to know, can you give me an update on the situation with the rats that are in the strip mall next to the McDonald's? We talked about that at the last meeting, and I'd like to know update, has that been addressed? And also, I have a lot of constituents that have not been informed by the water department that their water is going to be off. Can you address that now? If not, can you get back with me as soon as possible?
Yes, I can get back to you as far as the water situation. I have flagged that before. I believe that was brought up. That was an issue with someone before. And as far as the rat problem behind the McDonald's, I'm very confident that we could maybe schedule another walkthrough, and have those folks go out there and put the necessary things needed to address the rodent issue behind the McDonald's.
Thank you.
And I will flag it again.
It's not really the McDonald's, it's the strip mall that's next to the McDonald's. And
Okay.
that's been an ongoing problem for a very long time.
Okay, well, after this, please, I will reach out to you, and we could probably try to schedule something this week to go around there and see if we can address that as far as the rodent problem.
I really would appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you for everything that you're doing.
No problem.
Thank you, Lacey. We do have an ask from the community for you to explain and expand on Helping Hands. Could you please send us some information that we can share out with constituents?
Of course.
Thank you so much.
And I hope to see you guys tomorrow at the budget meeting.
One more.
We have one more question, Commissioner Sellers.
Madam Chair. Hi, Mr. Davis. I just want to publicly thank you for all your help that you assisted me in with the snow removal, primarily with the businesses along South Dakota Avenue. Was greatly appreciated, as well as the apartment building at the Metro. And then I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, okay, no problem. Look, it's gonna be more issues to come, so we just have to work with it and team up and try to knock it out and flag
And
it
that-
to get it done.
I did have one last question.
Yes, sir.
It's my understanding that street sweeping is gonna be starting in March. Is that correct?
Yes, March 3rd.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
It's my understanding that the street sweeping is gonna resume in March. Is that correct?
That's correct. March 3rd, it begins.
And I
hear me?
realize we're gonna have a storm potentially this weekend with the snow removal. I was just curious if it was gonna be delayed or not.
This is new news to me. We're having another storm coming.
Potentially.
Oh, please. Okay, if any changes, I will definitely give you notice of that. But as of now, March 3rd will be the date.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Lacey.
Yes.
Hi, Andriana.
Hi. Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Andriana Lovelace. I'm a constituent service coordinator from Councilmember Parker's office, and here are a few announcements from our office. In December, the council voted to separate or decouple our tax code from the federal tax code in order to have time to adjust and digest the more than 80 tax-related provisions that are affected in the One Big Beautiful Bill. 2 weeks ago, Congress voted to overturn the district's decoupling. If this is enacted, it will be a disaster for the district. Roughly 360,000 personal tax returns and about 70,000 business tax returns would experience a 4 to 5 month delay, as our local Office of Tax and Revenue would be required to revamp their system and work with partners like Intuit to update filing details. On top of this, the city would lose nearly $600 million in projected revenue over the financial plan and 2 critical tax credits for low-income neighbors, the Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. The chairman, Mayor Bowser, and the city's nonpartisan independent chief financial officers have all written letters to Congress emphasizing the harm this would cause the district. The district government is exploring all options for how to respond to Congress. The Home Rule Act is clear that Congress has 30 days to review D.C. legislation, but there is a disagreement about when the 30-day clock begins. The chairman has signed D.C.'s decoupling into law, but Congress counts the 30-day clock differently. We don't have many answers on what's next just yet, but here's the latest from OTR. Currently, the district's tax filing season remains open, and the Office of Tax and Revenue continues to process returns. Once OTR has more information, they will share it. If you missed our budget forum last week, we hope you can still weigh in by completing our Ward 5 budget survey. Also, like Lacey said, tomorrow the mayor will have a Ward 5 budget forum at 5:30 at Dock 5 in Union Market. If you know any remarkable community members who has made Ward 5 a better place, or someone who's gone out of their way to help neighbors, build a healthy community, and represent the best of Ward 5, we invite you to nominate them for a Ward 5 award using the form. I'll drop the link in the chat by March 2nd. And mark your calendars for our Ward 5 award ceremony, which will happen on April 1st, 2026 at Ivy City Smokehouse. And then lastly, the region is facing what is being called one of the largest sewage spills in U.S. history, with the failure of the Potomac Interceptor in Maryland. Neighbors are rightly concerned about how this will impact our environmental goals and public health. The mayor has already given a full situational update, and DC Water is posting regular updates. The important thing to note is your drinking water is safe, and residents should avoid all recreation on and around the Potomac River until the current advisory is lifted. And lastly, it is performance oversight season, so we invite you to weigh in on the performance of different district agencies. You can check out their schedule and sign up to testify or submit a written testimony. And I'll drop all these links in the chat. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Adriana. We have time for one question. Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Alston?
Hello, Andrea. Thank you so very much. Appreciate everything you've done for me. I just like to have an update on ABCA, and I know we've been to your office. I've been to your office, and also we've asked you all several times to check into the problem we have with this dispensary, this drug dispensary, and it's been a real long time. Over 6 months. I haven't heard anything at all. So, can you give me an update? Is there any hope that I can get in my constituents about this situation?
I don't have an update tonight, but I can definitely get you an update by tomorrow.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we move on to commissioners' business, I want to open the floor for any community comments. Any questions? I see one. We have time for, I'll go ahead. Yushena?
Hi, good evening. This is Yushena. I just wanted to raise something mentioning oversight for UDC. I mentioned it to Commissioner Sellers already. I talked to Councilmember Parker yesterday about the Lamont Riggs Campus Plan 2023 to 2033 campus plan, just to ask what's going on with that, because we just don't get any updates about that plan implementation at all. At the hearing today, President Eddington essentially said the plan is stalled and that they have engaged a consultant to look at feasibility of moving the community college program to the Van Ness campus. And so I just want to take this opportunity to ask the ANC, the civic associations, to utilize the oversight process to get answers, to ask questions, get answers, raise concerns, because again, I just feel like UDC is really dropping the ball on any sort of community engagement regarding the campus. And I'm just really disappointed by the lack of attention to the campus by both UDC officials and our elected officials, frankly. And it's really just me and Commissioner Sellers. If I just happen to find out things going on, I reach out to UDC. You know, he'll let them know about the banners falling down. And it's really actually, I think, frankly, appalling the way that the city treats this campus, because it actually provides a really great program, really great education and training programs for residents. And so I would like to see more official attention and action from the ANCs and the civic associations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shanna. That is a really important reminder. Carmen? Carmen, you can go ahead and unmute. I'll move to Deb while Carmen does the unmute. Deb, you can go ahead.
I'm sorry, my apologies. It
You're
wouldn't
okay.
let me unmute. Thank you so much for entertaining my question. My question is in reference to APCA. I know that they recently had a hearing and testimony was due, and I believe as of yesterday. I'm trying to find out whether we sent some testimony down in reference to the strip mall or the cannabis site that's trying to open in the strip mall.
Commissioner Miss?
Yeah, so just as an update, so I had gathered with, I think, almost 20 ANC commissioners from across the city. And we basically combined all of our notes and it was a total, we only wanted only 5 of us to testify, but we literally had was amazing, like 20 pages of just complaints with ABCA. And we submitted them all sort of together. So I don't think ANC 5A specifically didn't submit anything, but ours was in a bunch with all the other ANCs, just to sort of make it look like this was a real joint effort, not just ANC 5A complaint, but actually no, every ANC across the city is having the same issues that we're having with them.
Okay, but we don't have anything that specifically addresses our issue in the strip mall. There was nothing in there.
It was cited at the
Was
test.
it was cited in the protest in the testimony?
Yeah, exactly. And it was also cited that other ANCs had the exact same issue where they weren't allowed to submit comments and they were not given party status, et cetera. But ours was specifically.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Deb, go ahead.
Good evening. I just had one question. Where can we find copies of the summary reports from the grants that the ANC awarded last year, the beautification one and the community day?
I'm sorry, Deb, could you repeat the question?
Where can we find reports? I thought after the grant is completed, they have to do a summary report, and I was interested in reading the reports.
Gotcha. We should have them on our 5A website, but I can check to make sure that we have uploaded all of our previous grant reports.
Okay. When I checked the other day, nothing was there.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. I'll check to make sure
Thank
and
you.
update anything that is missing.
Thank you.
Madam Chair. Clarification. Was she asking for grant reports or for our end of the year reports?
Grant reports. Bill?
Okay, can you hear me? Hello?
Good evening.
Hello?
We can
you
hear
hear
you,
me?
Bill.
Oh, okay. A couple things. It was about October, November, December for sure. I was really surprised that I got this, like a newsletter every week from the ANC with highlights and different things. Will that start again? I haven't seen it since December. Another thing is I went to 2 funerals, one yesterday, one today, from some old people who've been in the community for a long time, years. I mean, like since the 50s and maybe even the 40s. And these people were the ones who built this community. One in particular, today, she was instrumental as far as getting the rec center. As I roam around the community, I see other seniors who are out of the loop. There are no SMD. Well, for me and mine, there's no SMD meetings. They don't know what's going on. And a lot of them are not, let's say, computer technology, all that technology stuff and whatnot. They don't do it. One lady in particular, who is really one of the pillars of this community over here, she doesn't use the computer. And I'm asking, I don't know the answer or what to do, but we got to work on this. This is not good that these people who built this community are out in.
Bill, we can't really hear you. Your audio is garbled. Could you please put your question in the Q&A so we can answer it properly? Oh, I think Bill left. Final call for any community comment before we move on with our agenda. Great. Feel free, please, to follow up over email with any questions. we're always available, and our ANC emails are shared at the end of every newsletter if you need to get in contact with us and ask any questions.
Madam Chair, this is Commissioner Lucio. Can I jump in real quick? Because I heard his question.
Oh, can you please repeat it?
Yeah, so he was asking about our communication plans for those residents who don't have easy access to email, which I know we've been working on. So someone might want to share what that is. So he's aware that we are working on that to address that issue.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Lucio. In terms of a comms plan, Commissioner Hermes is working on developing a comms plan for us. Really appreciate that. We are also going to utilize Councilmember Parker's office physical newsletter to make sure that we're including our information there. And yes, it is on our radar that some of our constituents do not have email. So we are working on how can we ensure that communications are reaching as many of our constituents as possible. Bill, do you want to put any questions into the Q&A so we can make sure we're hearing you? Right. Moving on with the agenda, I don't see any other hands or questions. To our commission business, approval of minutes for our last month's meeting from January 28, 2026. Commissioners were sent the minutes ahead of time. Is there a motion to approve?
Actually, point of order, can we approve with minor, sorry. In case there are minor corrections needed, is that okay? Like,
Yeah.
Subject to minor corrections?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. All in favor of approving the minutes from January 28th?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstain? The motion passes. We now have the treasurer's report. Commissioner Bakum, if you can present, I'll share the screen with the report. Can you unmute?
Hi, this is Commissioner Boku. So for January 2026, we started our month with 73,261.43. We had 2 transactions, MailChimp for $47.70 and Consumer Cellular for $210.03. And we ended our month with $73,003.70. That doesn't need to be approved, it's just a report.
Great. Commissioners, any questions before we move forward? Any questions from the commissioners? Great. Thank you so much, Commissioner Bakum, for the financial report. And now we have our final agenda item. I'll turn it over to Commissioner Hermes.
Yes, so 2 things. One, I'll just give a brief update on ABCA and then a motion just for reimbursement. So the big update on ABCA is that, to no one's surprise, we have no update because they do not update us on where the cannabis is going. So we have no idea. I've reached out to multiple people there and they've said it's somewhere behind the scenes of the pipeline. And basically one day they might open up shop and we just find out. Which is horrible, but that's what the law is right now. So we have to do, I think, a really better job of just making this clear to the council, to the mayor, the upcoming elections, that this is not okay, what's going on right now, the way that they're treating ANCs and the way that they're treating the constituents. Again, please reach out to me 5804@anc.dc.gov with any more questions. We can try to do our best, but the big complaints we have are that we're not being included in this conversation. So, I don't know how much details we'll be able to give. And then secondly, just, because we're behind on some payments and some reimbursements that the city is getting. Also, just we've gotten a lot of questions from people about how much we're spending on the attorney's fees. So in total, it will be $0 because we're actually getting reimbursed for downtown from DC government. So we're not spending a dime on this, but it's run up to something like $11,000 at this point. So with that being said, I'll put a motion to the floor that we apply for another $5,000 TAP grant from the Office of ANCs. Before
Commissioner Sellers,
I'm
yeah.
curious, have we been reimbursed for that full $11,000?
We've been reimbursed the initial 1,300, yada, 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 and then we just received another 5,000. And we're something like $5,000 still, need to be reimbursed right now, yeah.
And we're pretty certain that we'll receive that additional.
Yeah, I mean, we just received the last 5,000, so they'll be able to do it again, yeah.
And we have that in writing. I'm sorry, we have that in writing. We have that in writing that we're gonna receive that grant.
Insofar as that we haven't read that they already reimbursed us 2 times, so like unless they have a new policy, they would reimburse us again a 3rd time.
Okay.
If I may please. Have this canvassing, have they received, the license to operate?
That's the next big issue is I've asked them, okay. Because our understanding originally was that when we were dismissed as a party status, that they would go before the board again, and then the board would vote, as they always do, unanimously, yes, we approve the license. But apparently, if there's no protestant, it's just an automatic stamp of approval for marijuana license. And in terms of, do they have their official label yet? We don't know, because everything that's happening right now is not on public record. It's not in a public hearing before the APCA board for us to watch, or any public documents. It's all going on internally within their system. And the way that the law works is one day they're gonna move in, and you know, that's just how it works. It sucks, but it is.
And Jack,
Thank you.
I was just gonna ask Jack, is the information for this in the budget for the return of funds? Like, is that documented somewhere?
Sorry, Claire, don't like-
It's a community question, asking, is the information in the budget for the return of funds? I'm not sure if that's specific to our budget.
Yeah, as in, so we have within our budget, the line item that Commissioner Baku presents, how much we've spent specifically. And then, usually there's like an asterisk or something that, and it's just known that, hey, we're gonna get reimbursed for that. I hope that answered the question. If it doesn't, Carmen, let us know, or maybe, but yeah.
Shayla, could you unmute and answer?
So it is in our budget that we're gonna be spending, I think, about $10,000 for the lawyers. Or for technical assistance of any kind, which could be AV or any kind of technical assistance. I think at the last meeting, we voted to increase that amount. So it's in our budget as us spending the money, and it is also being reimbursed. In the February, in March, when we do the February monthly report, you're gonna see the 5,000 that came in February. Hopefully, when you do April, when we do the March report, we have another 5,000. If we're approved for the next request that we're going to.
Thank you, Commissioner Bakun. So we're gonna go Commissioner Sellers first. I believe Carmen raised her hand, Commissioner Holloway, and then Commissioner Alston.
Thank you, Commissioner Chairman. I have an observation and a question. I'm curious to know if we have looked into the zoning with DOB or Department of Licensing regarding the amount of parking that's available for that shopping center. Just my observation that before the McDonald's was renovated, remodeled, there's plenty of parking and people used to come back and forth from one lot to the other. Now that there's a fence up there, and you have more tenants with the 24/7 convenience store, the Chinese carryout, and now the cannabis dispensary. I wonder if they're in compliance with the amount of parking spaces that we're going to be needed for the dispensary.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point, and it's one of the grounds that's listed by APCA. I mean, I'm happy to have a contact at DOB. I can ask specifically about that, but if we get the chance to go before APCA again, the lawsuit works out, then yeah, that'll be a big thing that we would argue, and it's a very legitimate argument. But again, unfortunately, because we weren't given proper notice, play card, or a right to protest, which could make that argument. But yeah, I think that would be one of our strongest arguments before the board.
Thank you.
Carmen, followed by Commissioner Holloway.
Thank Thank you so much. Okay, so to answer the previous caller, there are 11 parking spaces for 4 businesses. And I think you all had addressed it initially in your protest to APCA. That should have been one of the issues that was there, that there is not sufficient parking. The fence that was put up between the strip mall and McDonald's has always been there. They just got a new fence during the remodel. The question that I have in reference to the refund that was given, the $5,000, I don't ever remember seeing that in your meeting when you all presented the budget, but you're saying in February, next month, when you do your February report, it would show the increase. Is that correct? The funds
Yes.
back to the ANC.
What Commissioner Baku presented today was the changes for the January budget. So in March meeting, when we present on the February budget, we'll see that plus $5,000 exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Commissioner Holloway, followed by Commissioner Alston. And Bill, I do see your hand. If you could put your question in the Q&A to make sure we can hear you, we will get to your question.
Let me just say that I remember when we had the meeting at the auditorium where this lady and her husband, they had proven that they had this lease that it was approved for some years now. So I was there and I remember that. Sorry, I can't put my picture up, but I wasn't able to put my picture up tonight for some reason. But I do remember when that happened with her, that, it was a good idea to fight them on it. But at this point, I don't think that we should be sinking anything else into this right now. Protesting, I'd be happy to protest. But at this point, it looks like APCA is not making a move to give us any type of groundwork as to are they willing to work with us on it. And I just think it's just frustrating that, basically at this point, protest, protest, protest. But if they've been approved, they have their paperwork. And what'll happen is what I heard someone say earlier, I believe, they'll just move in right up under us. And what is that? And this is, an issue that we have. And that's all I can say. Hopefully we can get reimbursed some of the legal fees like you guys spoke about. But at this point, it seems like it's a dead end. I don't know, but I'm willing to help protest because that's not what the community wants. All right.
Thanks, Commissioner Holloway. Commissioner Alston, followed by, we have a question from Michelle.
This is Commissioner Austin. First of all, Ward 5, we don't have a give up spirit. When we get together and we decide that we're going to make something happen, we make something happen better for our community. Just like when they tried to put a liquor store in that same development, in that same spot. Even the mayor's father came out and we protested and we did exactly what we needed to do. We went to the media. That's what we need to do now because we haven't been to the media yet. Because we can't no longer just sit down and we have these elected officials who supposed to be doing everything that they can for us to help us, but we pay tax dollars to Washington, D.C., and they're not doing their job. There's no reason that we should be subjected to something like this. And it's not fair, and we're not giving up. We're getting the money reimbursed to us, and if they think it's great for them to help us continue to give the money to us, they also think that it's a good idea too. We don't have a give up spirit. We're gonna fight this and fight it until we win.
Thank you, Commissioner Alston. Question from Shenna. Did the ANC submit testimony for APCA's oversight hearing? Is there an opportunity to use the comp plans process to register concern about where dispensaries and cultivation centers can be located?
So I think someone asked this earlier. So again, the summary is that ANC 5A specifically, we did not submit anything, and that was because I had worked with literally dozens of ANC commissioners across the city, and we sort of came together, came up with a list, emailed them out to every council member, and then went in person. And I didn't personally, but 5 of us went in person and read the list in front of them. And, I actually got a call from, I believe, Councilmember Parker was like, I've never seen so many people complain about APCA in one meeting. So there was no like official ANC 5A testimony because we thought it'd be a little bit stronger. If this was like every commissioner, we had commissioner really like almost every ANC across the city coming together and saying, no, this is a citywide problem and it's something that the entire city is fed up with.
Thank you, Commissioner Mez. Into the second part of your question, Yushenda. I'm not sure, but I'm going to find out. I think that's a great idea, and it is an opportunity for sure for us to ensure that our community is being made in the way we want it to be made in the next couple of years, decades. So I'll absolutely look into the comp plan process to understand if and how we can register concerns about the different businesses that are coming into our community. Commissioner Alston, and then we have Bill.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I am requesting that we, as a board, get a letter together and send it to the owner of the strip mall. This person has been so disrespectful to us. Just like when he tried to do the liquor store, didn't let us know. He just tried to do some underhanded things, and we had to go down to Africa. We had to stand there and testify. Okay, and we won. But we protested, we did everything we could. So this time, he's doing it again. We didn't even know anything about this until we saw the sign on the door. And that's not right. And I've called, and the phone does not work. And it's not acceptable. And the strip mall is filthy and dirty. And this is where all the rats and things are coming from. And they should be held accountable. You cannot just continue to stay in our community and do everything that you can to destroy the community. So I'm asking if we can send a letter, maybe that letter can go along with the council members person that I'm supposed to be talking to and get some support from them to send this to this guy who is the owner of that strip mall. We want to talk to you. We want to see you. We want to, and if he doesn't do it, then we take the next step.
Thank you, Commissioner Alston. We absolutely can chat about that and what next steps would look for that. Bill, you want to go ahead?
Are you hearing me better now? Hello?
We can hear you.
Good. Oh, to piggyback on what has been said about the strip mall, I'm involved with a group of people who are doing some cleanup around Faith Church and that corner right there by the strip mall. We did a beautiful job, and spring is, and for a while everything is fine. McDonald's has a staff person who goes out at least 3 times a day and gets up the trash around that property, around the McDonald's property. No one does it at the strip mall. It is getting out of hand now, as almost overnight. I have another suggestion regarding the dispensary. Their office is on 12th and just below Otis. I think whatever it is, they're on 12th Street, and that's where they operate from. And a protest was brought up as a possibility. I say protests on 12th Street against the dispensary, not at the strip mall, on 12th Street. I think we'll get a better reaction if 12th Street has got a bunch of people out there with placards and whatnot. I just turned 81 in January, and I had, as you noticed a minute ago, I had a little difficulty trying to type stuff and whatnot. That's my. This is a little off topic from what you were talking about, but please do something there to help the seniors out who are not computer savvy and whatnot. Now, luckily I've been playing around with the computer since 1980 something, but so I kind of can figure things out and whatnot. But there are a lot of people who can't and don't, who are, like I mentioned before, you may not have heard. I went to 2 funerals of people who were pillars of this community and built the ANC, built the North Michigan Park Civic Association, and when they went to the grave yesterday and today, they were out of the loop as what's going on in the community. We don't have any. I hate to say this, Elaine, but we don't have any SMD meetings of any consequence where they can get their concerns out. I'm gonna close with this. I go to 4B ANC. At the top of the agenda is community concerns. You people, okay to say it like that, You are the spokespersons for the citizens of the community. Each one of you represents about 2,000 people. The mission statement, they took it off the ANC website, the main website. But it says right there, when community has concerns, we're supposed to bring, of any consequence, instead of us going one by one down to XYZ agency, we're supposed to come to our commissioner and then you on our behalf take care of that. That's what you're there for, to work for these issues that affect us on our behalf, not have parties and whatnot. You know, we got concerns, and so you're supposed to listen to us on a regular basis, even though you say you don't have to have an SMD. But it's really disappointing when you have these meetings and only allow 5 minutes for community concerns or something like that.
Okay,
That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. Carmen, a final comment, and then we will wrap up Commissioner's conversation and move to vote on this motion.
Okay, thank you so much. And my comment is in reference to the cannabis site that is trying to open at the strip mall. I agree with Jack that all the commissioners across the city should get together to voice their concerns. When they came to UDC, the couple that came to UDC about the cannabis site was not the original couple that came to the community back in June or July of the previous year. It was someone else, and it was under a different name. For me, there's some false advertisement. There's falsity as far as individuals coming in to get the license. It came in under one name, and now in the middle of this, they want to change the name. The couple that came to the community in June is the same couple that is trying to open up a cannabis site on Brentwood Road. They're also opening a site on Bladensburg Road. I just saw that they have applied for the one on Bladensburg Road, but they had already applied for the one on Brentwood Road. So my thing is, why do they come in with one name and then all of a sudden they want to change? There's something wrong in this process.
Yeah, thank you.
And that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, thank you, Carmen. Commissioner Bakum?
Sorry, that particular point, why they came to us and then they went somewhere else. I think it's because we said
We want them and maybe they decided to move somewhere else. That's possible, right?
That was not the case. They're supposedly connected. Those 4 individuals are supposedly connected.
Carmen is right. It was originally Jubilee, and then now the group is Clinical Health and Wellness. I don't think we have a specific answer as to why they know it's for hard fighters, and maybe that they got scared off because they knew that we're going to put the fight that we're doing now. But that's just sort of presuming.
When you look at the license, both names are listed on the initial license. Different people, but both names are still listed on the license.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Because you're right, there's a 2-step process. Is it still fine if there's 2 different parties? That'd be something we could bring up with APCA. Then again, we're having a really hard time just getting them to listen to us. So we'll see. But maybe that's when we throw up a lawsuit if APCA ignores their own policy again on that. It's great tonight.
No, it's worth looking into. If the initial people can get the license, but the other couple can't get the license, there's something wrong in the process.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, thank you, Carmen. Commissioners, any final questions before we move to a vote?
Marijuana, and we need to keep in mind that the ABC has a board that's appointed by the mayor. And on that ABC board, you have 3 people who live in Ward 5 vote for that. And that's a serious problem. And some of them live in that same zip code.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Is there a motion? Can you restate the motion, please?
I move that we apply for a technical assistance panel grant from the Office of ANCs of up to $5,000.
All in favor? All opposed? Abstained? This motion passes unanimously. And that concludes our agenda for today. Our next meeting will be on March 25th. We will be sharing out the location information over email, and if you need to reach us, there are cards in the back with our phone number and email, and for folks online, all of our information is also on our website. Again, thank you to Catholic University for providing us the space, the tech, very fancy microphones, and Commissioner Hermes for organizing this. I really appreciate it. And I move for us to adjourn. The time is 8:15.
Second.
All in favor? All right, all opposed? All right, the meeting is adjourned.
Good night.
Good night.